Now, I want to cover in the last 5 minutes a couple of edge cases where some of this information might or might not be useful. So EPSS tend to have a 16 to 30 days synchronization effect with new vulnerability at scale. So if we take OpenSSL vulnerability that was mentioned at the beginning of this year, temporary had a 4.5, ended up being very high for a specific amount of period. But EPSS score was super, super low for a long time, while the CTI interest for targeted and refined CTI information was really high because of the distribution across number of systems available. So it was something that attacker really looked into. Another vulnerability that later on got really attention and got really exploited at scale was VMware or QNAP systems, because those vulnerabilities got a lot of attention from ransomware perspective. Originally CVSS 8.8, a lot of high interest from CTI. Again, EPSS very low, and it ended up catching up later stage. So those are cases and caveat when using CTI versus EPSS, that there is a little bit of a delay between when a vulnerability gets published and when a vulnerability gets exploited at scale. So to wrap it up, you can get information around likelihood of exploitation in comparison with EPSS. When EPSS is low, always double check if the vulnerability widespread, if there are a number of systems, for example, in Shodan or gray noise that are highly exploited or highly available. Or shadow servers is another good data source of information, as well as HackerOne data and other bug bounty data to see fundamentally if that vulnerability is exploited in the wild. We have a lot of this information under exploitability and under probability of exploitation and under popularity in Phoenix Security to actually enable you to do this at scale. And the least but not last, you can see the methodology of attack, like CWE, CAPEC. This becomes a little bit more complex to dig into. So I want to conclude that vulnerability at scale tend to be a tunnel and very hard and very heavy to explore and dig into, but there is a light at the end of the tunnel. To summarize, manual triage is not practical, it's not effective. EPSS is a great source for prioritization. Context, location, and other factors can help further down refining the vulnerability exploitation and the one you should focus on. And risk enable us to talk with the business in a better way. And if we identify the single thread of risk to vulnerability, we can enable the business to communicate and to connect with the majority of people. Now, I want to leave with a last comment that is, this is what we do at scale with Phoenix Security. We are a data-driven company that use a lot of the data set to actually contextualize, prioritize, and deliver high-quality feed to engineer at scale. You can find us on phoenix.security, and a lot of these data sets are available. We love the community, so we made available a version of Phoenix Security with OWASP, and you can get access to the Phoenix Security Edition from OWASP using this QR code that you have available in here. A lot of these data sets and a lot of this information are actually also available on some of the write-up and the publication that we did around vulnerability management at scale and application security program at scale. You can find them using the QR code, as well as the new tool publication that we did around the use of SLA and how to move away from SLA and into a more data-driven and risk approach. Again, the QR code will lead you to the specific page, or building resilient application security and cloud security program using this QR code. We also discuss around this particular topic on the podcast, CSCP or Cybersecurity and Cloud podcast, with a lot of thought leadership around the world. So I'd like to thank everyone for your time and effort, and I want to thank all our defender for actually defending and helping our business to get up to date and safe every day. It's not an easy job, and we're here to help you all to get less burnout and more focus. Thank you very much. I'm going to open the floor to the question. I'm going to stop recording right now.